Hello, light people. This is the 5D Frequency Podcast. In this podcast, we talk about all things spirituality, self growth, and ascension. We make spirituality easy and practical. I'm your host, Italia, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about light workers and starseeds. What those terms mean, and can you be both at the same time? So, light worker is someone that works with light, with love, with truth, with consciousness. This term can be used in a broader sense or in a more narrow sense. And you can say that there are levels to it. A light worker can be awakened spiritually or not. So, in a more broader sense, someone who does a volunteer work, for example, but is not awakened, is a light worker. Someone that has a good heart and helps others in some way is doing a work of light, a work of love, isn't it? Someone who works with holistic or nutritional healing, for example, is also a light worker, either if they are awakened or not. Someone who is religious, even, can be a light worker because they might be someone who does a beautiful work helping others, despite not being someone who is completely spiritually awakened. And that's awesome. There are people who are connected to their hearts and to their souls, and that are doing a work that is also considered a work for love, a work for the light. However, this term can also be used in a more narrow sense, where being a light worker will mean being someone who is awakened spiritually and is acting from that level of consciousness in all they do. They become a beacon of light to others. They become the living example to help others awaken as well. This would mean someone who is specifically awakened spiritually and that helps others awaken as well by being the example. And usually they work in the spiritual field. So you can have those two views on being a light worker, a more broader sense, where anyone who is connected to their hearts and their souls and are doing a work of love and of light and truth and consciousness, despite being awakened or not, are light workers. Or in a more narrow sense, someone who is specifically spiritually awakened and most likely work in the spiritual field. On the other hand, a starseed is a term that means that someone's soul is not originated on planet Earth. It's someone who incarnated here on Earth, but it's not from this planet. Their original planet, constellation, or even galaxy is different from ours. Some starseeds are very aware that they are starseeds. Some are not, but are going to be aware in the near future. The more awakened you are, the more you will receive the confirmation that you are a starseed or not. There are two very interesting videos on my YouTube channel about this topic where I explain deeper what is a starseed, what are the main types of starseeds, because depending on where you come from, you are a different type of starseed, a different race of starseed, you can say that. And I also give you specific signs to help you know if you are a starseed. So I'll link those videos down below if you are interested to know more about this topic. One very interesting thing about starseeds is that they incarnate here with a very specific mission, with a very specific purpose that they can be aware of the further they go on their awakening process. But in a more broader sense, starseeds are here on Earth to bring a new way of living, to help build the new Earth templates. And that's why they are most likely someone who never felt like they are home here on Earth. They never felt like they belong on Earth. They never felt the feeling of home here because of two things. First, more obviously, because planet Earth is not their home. It's not their home planet. But second, because the feeling of home comes from the connection with Source. And here on Earth, this connection with Source has been cut to a minimum. So the main thing Starseeds came to do here on Earth is to bring back that connection to Source. So the main thing Starseeds need to do to feel good and to fulfill their overall mission here on Earth is to clear inside of themselves everything that is blocking them from connecting to Source, to God, the universe, the divine. They are responsible for bringing back this alignment, first within themselves, and then this will cause a ripple effect for the rest of the planet. They are opening the doors for this alignment for the rest of humanity. And they can do this because they bring a different DNA to this planet. One thing we need to understand is that our DNA doesn't determine only how we are biologically and genetically. And then the rest of it is junk DNA. There's no junk DNA. God doesn't create junk DNA. Part of what we call junk DNA are receptors that allow us to perceive different and higher frequencies. This part of our DNA has been blocked and disconnected for thousands of years, and this has kept humanity in a low level of consciousness. Our DNA is not only connected to our bodies and who we are in this incarnation, it is also connected to the moment of the creation of our souls. So when starseeds incarnate here on Earth, they bring different types of DNA that come from different types of souls from different parts of the universe. And they are able to activate this dormant DNA, and then as a domino effect, it activates others' DNAs as well. Unfortunately, we have been told so many lies about all of this, about our DNA, for us to be trapped in a low level of consciousness. But starseeds are being able to activate their DNA and elevate their frequency, elevate their level of consciousness, and this is causing this ripple effect on humanity's awakening. It is also very important to say that most starseeds have a beautiful mission to help humanity awaken, but not all starseeds are here to do this. There are some starseeds that are playing for the dark side, let's put it in those terms, to the side that does not wish humanity to be awakened. And they are working to keep humanity unawakened in a low level of consciousness for their own personal gain. And many of them are using social media and are infiltrated in the spiritual community, spreading confusion. So it's crucial that when you are watching someone online in any social media platform, especially if they are saying that they are starseeds, that you have discernment. You gotta have discernment and use your body to know the truth. How does it feel when you listen to that person? I had a personal experience about this with a person that I used to follow on social media. I used to believe in the lies that this person was saying for a very, very long time, until one day that I tuned into a live this person was doing, and the moment that I started watching, my whole body contracted. and I felt nauseated. My mind was telling me that it made no sense because I really believed in what that person was saying. But my body in that moment was screaming to me the truth. So I would highly advise you to listen to your body when you are watching anyone in the spiritual community, because our bodies have a wisdom that our minds can't follow up. Our minds just can't follow the wisdom of the body. I know it's very difficult to have discernment, to really discern when we are at the beginning of our awakening process, but it is a practice. The more you are awakened, the more you will be able to discern easier and better. But it is a practice and it's highly, highly, highly necessary. And to end our conversation today, can you be both? Can you be a light worker and a starseed? The answer is yes. Yes, you can be a light worker and a starseed. But you can be a starseed but not a light worker. Like I said before, some starseeds don't have humanity's awakening in sight, so they can't be light workers. And you can also be a light worker, awakened or not, but not a starseed. So you can be all of it. You can be a light worker, but not a starseed. You can be a starseed, but not a light worker. Or you can be both. You can be a starseed and a light worker. So I hope this was very, very clarifying for you. I know this subject is very fascinating, isn't it? Just a reminder that this podcast is on YouTube, subtitled in many different languages if that's something that you need. It is also on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So you can decide the best place for you to watch it. So I'll see you in the next episode. Much love, light, and truth.